Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. I am Dr. Toya Hodges, and today we are going to be tapping into discussing 8 proven ways and strategies that you could implement and utilize to try to help ease some of this hopeless situations that you keep experiencing. And so I'm excited that you're here. I just finished working out and I have a jam-packed day today, which I am very, very excited about. A lot of good stuff happening. So I did not have time to shower before you get this beautiful class. And I know all y'all are going to love my Carolina jersey. I know I have lots of dookies that surround me. I'm so sorry. Not really, but anyway. All right, let's get started. So yesterday, in our last lesson, we talked about various ideas to like start increasing your level of creativity that you demonstrate in your life, and then how useful creativity can be when you feel like the whole world is conspiring against you, when you're backed up into a corner, move. And so with this lesson and what we're going to talk about today, it's really going to help you impact how to put this into your life so you are able to like really knock it out. Okay. So here's the thing, whether you're experiencing the end of a relationship or foreclosure at home or some circumstances that are simply beyond saving. We all have those circumstances. It just seems like no matter where you turn, you're just seeing things just crashing, and it just feels like you are just in this situation and in this rut that you just can't seem to get out of. And some of the things that we don't often realize is that those situations have run their course. And it's now have to make other plans. Like, okay, this relationship ended. It did not work out. We got to let that go. If we're losing our house or we've lost our business or if we sold our business or if we've lost our job, that's the end of that era of your life. I know you're like, but I don't want it to be. But sometimes we are put in situations where we're forced to make a change because you kept choosing that other plan that kept you running around in circles. And now it's like, no, you can't do this anymore. We're stopping it. And the way we're going to stop it is by ending something that is harming you, the relationship, the business, the job, whatever it may be. It's now time to leave that and let's create other plans. But the thing is, let go of what we know, what we think we need, that we're not able to look into the new situations that it could possibly be getting better for us instead of worse. Now, I get it. When we're in that hopeless situation, letting go, learning, and moving is the best solution you can do, but it's by far the hardest because you're having to go against everything that you've ever done to do something different because in your mind you felt like you lost something, and so you're trying to regain it, but sometimes those things are not supposed to be regained the way it was. Like, you need to gain the things that you deserve now and be open to receive those. So how do we do this? What are some of the 8 strategies that I use in my life? And like, as I have explained several times, I give you strategies. I give you the tools that you need to create the solution that works for your life. So here are some of the strategies that over all my years of working with individuals, these are some of the strategies that have been proven to work with them their way. They learn this skill, they listen to the strategy, and they take the part of the skill and the strategy that resonates with them, and they implement it to help them. And that's the same thing that you need to do. Okay. So number one, the first thing is letting it go. I know that that is near impossible when you think that that's what you have to have. And here's the thing, if the outcome is inedible, sorry, I'm doing well today. Does it obsessing over it ever help? So think about that. If you already know what the outcome is going to be, what does obsessing over it do? How's it helping the situation? In your mind, you may think this is me giving up, but it's not, because how intelligent is it to continue with something that you can't possibly win? Some things, giving up is the winning. Letting go of it is the winner. That's like you holding on to a rope that is making your hand bleed. And the more you hold on, the worse the pain is, and you don't want to let go of it. Like, that don't make sense. So make the decision to let go and get on with the rest of your life saying, you know what? This situation didn't work. It ended. It hurt. It's whatever. It's not what I thought I wanted, but I realized that I can't lose anything that is meant for me. You never lose anything that is meant for you. You just don't. It's over for a reason. All right. And the longer you hold on to why it's over, the more you're missing out on what's showing up to be better. Okay. Purge your emotions. That's number two. Hopefully you know simple, healthy ways to make yourself feel better. Perhaps you feel better after long exercise. Others feel relief after a good cry. Maybe having dinner with a friend will boost your spirits. Whatever that is, do it. And sometimes it could be all of it. Sometimes it could be a long walk while you're crying. You know, whatever works for you. Now, this is where a lot of us have been numbing our emotions and thinking we're purging them. And this is where I'm going to say, you heard me when I said purge your emotions. The very first way to purge your emotions, and the key is to find a healthy solution for you to navigate. Drinking, drugs, and spending money is irresponsibly, and it's also a few examples of unhealthy alternates. And if you do those things, that's not purging your emotions, it's running and hiding from your emotions. And when you do that, it only adds to what you got going on, because now you got the guilt, and now you got all of these other feelings, and that even includes overeating. So understand that when I say drugs, that can be in anything that is unhealthy that helps you escape. Okay. So make sure you choose them wisely. Number three, try to learn something. Like you being a part of this program, this course, that is showing you're learning something new, because you're able to stand back and say, okay, if I try these things and I start to feel better, then I've learned something new and it's helped me make my situations better. So now I don't feel hopeless. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Think about how you contribute to the situation that you have going on right now. If you're having financial difficulties, but you keep going out and eating, you keep going and buying things that you really don't need, but it makes you feel better right then and there. If there are things that are contributing to your financial situation that are blocking you from getting out of your financial situation, those are the things that you need to think about how you're aiding that situation. It's like it's burning, and instead of you throwing water on it, you're throwing gas on it. You're only making the situation bigger. So here's the thing, a lot of us do this. We ignore the warning signs for everything because the unresolved feeling, like especially when you're dating somebody, when you first started dating, what signs were you ignoring? And this is very important because a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people start dating people and they see certain things that they don't like. And instead of them dealing with it, their desire or wanting to be loved trumps the warning signs. And so the warning signs typically are the things that you end up ending over because you thought those things would change. But the thing is, they didn't change because that person never knew that those things bothered you to begin with. You just skated right past it. Because your why, remember how we talked about your why was just to feel love from somebody, that you ignored the consequences and the warning signs, knowing that that person was not the right person for you to love. And that's the same thing with most of your decisions. If it's coming from a place of desperation and lack and negativity, like I need to be loved, I just want someone to love. No, we all will find the person we're supposed to love when we're supposed to, but if we force it and we ignore things, all that's doing is stripping away from what we're supposed to really have, and it hurts us. But you learn from that. So it's like now stand back and be like, okay, well, when I dated that person, what were the signs that I knew that I didn't like certain things? And how did that feed into our relationship? And learn from it. Okay? Just learn from the situation instead of letting it beat you. Learn from it. Take that knowledge and let's move forward, because now when you did that the first time, you didn't know better because it was your first time. But now you know better, so let's do better. Okay? All right. So let me just go and tell you right now. It is very, very common to repeat your mistakes. What can you learn to avoid a repeat performance in the future? This is what we just talked about. Like, what can you do to avoid this? Learn from it. Okay, the first time I started a business 30 years ago and things went wrong. What did I learn from those? Okay, I learned those things. So when I started building a second business, I already knew, well, these were the pitfalls that I had. And I knew why I had the pitfalls. And so what I did was, the more businesses I built, the more efficient I became, because I was learning from the mistakes of this business. Even now, as I'm building my business now, all those things that I learned from me building all those other businesses are helping me. But this is a different kind of business. So I've learned things along the way these past 3 years that I've owned my new business, the one that I'm building now. I learned a lot and I'm still learning. But I welcome the learning process. The experiments is, to me, that's creative now. Okay. Number 4, enjoy yourself. Now might be the perfect time to visit your favorite restaurant, take a walk in a park, go see a movie with a friend. Just because life has thrown you a curveball doesn't mean you can't have a good time. Have a good laugh and forge ahead. Sometimes we just need to step outside of the element. If it's going on around us, we just step outside and go do something fun. That creates that creativity in you, and then you can come back and look at the situation a little differently. And whatever it is that you're doing, 9 times out of 10, because you're not in it, you start to get a little bit more clarity about the situation. Okay. Number 5, keep up with your responsibilities. And when I say that, it's like, even though this situation is going on, there are still things that have to be taken care of. When I went through with my son getting in the car accident and I stopped working, there were things I still had to take care of. I still had a husband. I still had a home I had to take care of. I still had a business I had to take care of. I still had to pay the bills. There was still things that I had to continue doing. And if I would have avoided those things, then they would have became a fire. So avoiding and letting the other areas of my life suffer only increases the fire that you're dealing with. So make sure you try to stick to the other things, because if you have children, they need you. They still need your love and attention, no matter what it is you got going on, like whatever that is. Okay. Number 6, that's what we're doing in this program, is creating a plan for the future. Looking forward to an interesting and an exciting future may be the best way to move forward. Because if you, right now, if you're going through such a hard time and your future seems bleak, how the hell are you going to be happy? How do you even know how to get to happiness? You don't know, because the bleakness and the darkness is hard for you to see anything else. But if you can say, okay, I know my future is going to be this, like I always knew my future was going to be me teaching and helping people heal and to learn. I've always known that my entire life, and I have always worked toward that in my future. Now, as I navigate, my future looks it looks different. I now realize that the actions that I put toward the future that I want follow me. When I'm doing things out of desperation and pain and just making reckless decisions because I'm just trying to forge through to get to the end, and I didn't enjoy the journey, then I'm not learning. I'm just becoming numb to it. But now that I know the things that I want to accomplish, and I'm setting the goals, and I'm planning, creating the future, then I know where I'm stepping. I know which direction I'm going in. And that's helpful. So I know where my destination is. So allow yourself to be open to the possibilities and create a compelling future for yourself. Remember, I talked about your why's got to be big enough. You getting it twisted with a negative emotion is not your why. If you're healthy within yourself and you know what your future is, then what you're going to do is you're going to make your why big enough, and then you're going to start taking one small step toward making that future a reality. Like even for me in my business, I knew I wanted to build a school. I had to sit down for a few months and replan and restructure the current business plan I was on, because that business plan wasn't really aligned with what the future was that I was trying to build. I was thinking smaller when I first opened, and that's okay. That was my first goal, and I accomplished that. So now it's time for me to do the next plan, so I can go from where I'm at now to the next phase. See what I'm saying? But I'm taking small steps. That's the same thing you should do. Okay. Number 7, make a list of all the things that fill you with gratitude. The one thing that I can teach you, if I can't teach you nothing else, is this: gratitude turns into abundance. So for all those people that are struggling and you feel like there's so much lack in your life, and this ain't just lack of money, this is lack of safety, lack of security, lack of connection, lack of discipline, lack of everything. If there's a lack of love, whatever lack you're feeling, the piece of you that feels like it's unfulfilled, fill out that with gratitude. If you feel everything with gratitude, look back at those situations that came here to break you and thank them for making you stronger. Give gratitude to the fact that you woke up this morning. People ask me, what do I deem as my life being successful? Number 1, I wake up and experience a new day. I have life. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my health. Is it improving day by day? Yes, it is, but I'm grateful for it for where it is today. I'm grateful for the fact that I do have a home to live in. I do have a car to drive. I do have food to eat. I have electricity. I have safety and security. I thank everything that I have and everything that I want in life as if it's already here. I am thanking it because I know it's going to be here. Right? And so when you really tap into just being grateful, that attracts your abundance. So if I'm grateful for love, I'm going to be overflowing in love. If I'm grateful for joy, I'm going to experience joy in my life. If I'm grateful for happiness, I'm going to experience it. Whatever I'm grateful for is what I get. So when I'm grateful for it, it arrives. If I'm disappointed about it, I'm going to elude the fulfillment. Okay. Remember, and this is the last one, remember other situations in your life that have happened that you seemed hopeless in. I can't tell you how many times where I felt like I was sitting there and I'm like, I don't know how we're going to make it through this. I don't see an end in sight. This is a never ending battle. Came out of that. How many of you? Guess what? And when we came out through that damn other side, we were resilient and we were freaking knowledgeable. So that's the thing I want to teach you today. Look at your SWOT analysis. Take your strengths and match with a weakness. Resilience, match that with your lack of weakness. Match your determination with your weakness. Match your strength, weakness that makes your weakness turn into a strength. It's going to take time to do it. Okay? So, around all this, hopeless situations do happen to all of us. There's absolutely nothing we can. And not every situation is something we can salvage. It just isn't. Like it's just gotta go. And so letting go of it, moving forward, can be the absolute best situation. And one thing I'll let you know, and I'm not telling you no secret, but worrying about something has never changed the actual outcome of any situation. I don't know how many times that me and Worry set it in places as best friends. Worry was sitting in my lap. Everywhere I went, so did Worry go. And it never solved a damn thing for me. Worrying was one of my worst best friends. We had to break up because that relationship just was not working. Like it was depleting. They were sucking the life out of me. Look at it like that. These emotions that you carry around that you ignore, those are your best friends. So if they ain't serving you, if they abusing you and using you and you can't get past them, and that shame and that negative and stress, like break up with them. Stop being in those abusive relationships. Them relationships are abusive. Okay, and now you can just be when you see them, you can wave to them. You gotta sit down and talk to them like, hey, everybody over there, you're looking good, girl. Keep up the good work over there. I've got things to do. Keep rolling. Wave and keep rolling. Okay. All right. So allow yourself to enjoy life and create the friggin' future that you want. Like keep your eyes facing forward. Like imagine you going outside and taking a walk and it's just a long stretch. If you walk with your head down, you ain't gonna see what's coming ahead of you. But if you keep your eyes focused on forward, guess what? Before you know it, you get to where you're trying to get to. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. So what do I want you to do? What do you want you to do for homework? Tap in. Just tap in. Take these situations Try to apply them to whatever you got going on. See what you can come up with. Create your plan. And most importantly, align your your strengths with your weakness. Merge them two together. Figure out, like mine, when mine was my lack of discipline and my lack of commitment, me, resilience, and strength all came together, and we've been working it out. Like, I know I'm resilient. I know I can survive anything. And so, resilient is my leading force in me getting through my lack of discipline. It's not allowing me to, it's staying persistent every day, everywhere. There's no way for me to escape it. And I don't want to. And that's the beauty. All right. I love y'all. I am sending y'all so much love and joy and harmony and peace through these videos. I hope you are open enough to receive it. And I will talk to you beautiful souls tomorrow. Have a good day.